teachers of Reddit. What's the funniest thing you've heard a student say that you unfortunately had to punish them for? Student. Small sticks matter. Me. Ach. Let's keep it school appropriate. Student. Small penises matter. Couldn't help but laugh. Last week, I joking told one of my grade 8 students that he better behave because Santa was watching. He strolled away saying nonchalantly, "Santa. My ass." I cracked up. My girlfriend is a teacher. There was a little boy in her class who was finger painting. He stops, looks at his hands and says, "Now how the duck do I get this off?" Not me but my fiancée. She's a really great teacher, but was having trouble with this one class. One of the students asked her, "Mrs. Teacher, do you have any kids?" Fiancée. "Oh god no. Kid. That might be for the best." One of our students, learning disabled, dumped a glass of water on another student, also learning disabled. "Because we don't have time for naps today. We have to watch a movie." I cried real tears under my desk because I could not stop laughing. Kid in my class was given some bad news once and exclaimed "oh crap" right on my stick. It was inappropriate, but it sounded so incredibly genuine and defeated. My English teacher, early 20s, fresh out of school, looked like she was in physical pain. Having to punish him, despite laughing uncontrollably and feeling sympathy for his situation. I was teaching nutrition and garden education to second graders. Really sick. All hopped up on cold medicine on a rainy day. And discussing our agrarian community. Me. "Does anyone know any farmers?" Kid. "Yeah. My uncle is a farmer." Me. "Nice. What does he farm?" Kid. "Pot." Me. Slowly blinks. Class. Giggles. Me. "Okay. We are talking fruits and vegetables here. People. Does anyone else know a farmer? How about Farmer John? Do you guys know Farmer John? With the pumpkins." Babbling continues. I teach pre-K. The kids were out at recess and one was riding a bike wearing his helmet. As he should. One of my girls walked by and hit him over the head with our plastic baseball bat. I asked her why she did that. She replied, "He has a helmet on." I had to turn away and snort before telling her it wasn't okay to hit anyone, even if they have a helmet. A friend of mine teaches first grade. One day her class was watching Hercules, and during the scene where Hades is smoking a cigar a kid shouts, "Miss, he's smoking a fat blunt." I can't imagine trying to keep a straight face when she had to tell her that she can't say that kind of stuff in school. From South Korea. We were learning good at. I'm good at soccer. I'm good at English. Teacher. She is good at ugly. Overheard a grade 6 student tell a group of kids in his class that if they don't take their Viagra they wouldn't be able to please their girlfriend. It was surprising. Not a teacher. But in 6th grade I remember one of my classmates who was a one-ape gangster. Although super funny. Get annoyed that our teacher was handing out papers with a new assignment on them. When she got to him, he said, "Don't give me that sheet." Everyone lost it including the teacher. But he still got detention for it. This teacher has had 4 last names because of remarrying in the last 5 to 6 years. An 11-year-old student was wondering why this teacher has had so many names. 11 years old. "Mrs. Have you been married before?" Teacher. "Yes." 11 years old. "Oh. So you're a hoe." The kid honestly didn't mean it to be mean. He just thought that is what you call someone who has been married a few times. Luckily the teacher didn't take offense to it and said, "Well, he isn't wrong." However, his homeroom teacher wasn't as forgiving. This was from a friend teaching 2nd grade. Kid. "Miss O. There's a bad word written in the bathroom." Teacher. "What's the word?" Kid. "It's so bad. I can't tell you." Teacher. "It's okay. You can tell the teacher." Kid. "Oh no. I can't say that word. But I'll give you a hint. It starts with S and rhymes with duck." Teacher. This is more of something a student did. About a month ago I hear a kid yelling my eyes are burning. I ask him what's wrong, and he says that another kid sprayed him with something. I go to that kid, and he hands me a bottle of Warhead spray candy, and says it's just water. When I told him that water doesn't burn eyes, he replies with, well, I did put salt in it. Teaching first grade, and a kid came up to me and said, Miss, he just said something bad. So I walk over to E and ask if he said something inappropriate. He shrugs, looks sheepish and says I said cows have big boobies. I literally paused with my mouth open. Was not expecting that one. Miss K, how do you know if you have swamp ass? Miss K, I would make a terrible hooker. I have bad knees. Jose, I'm gonna grab you by the nipple hair and kick your ass. All of these from the exact same class. I taught freshmen a few years ago. They had some imaginations. Edit. My first silver is a post about swamp ass and nipple hair. Here's to you, Reddit. Not a teacher, but my mommies. At a private Catholic elementary school during mass, a 4th grade boy was giving the sign of peace, shaking hands with those around him, and saying peace or peace be with you. And instead of saying peace he was muttering penis under his breath. He got a detention, but she said it was pretty funny, and they all laughed about it later. Their insults to each other have evolved. We used to call each other's mums. The other day I heard your mum smells like the coral reef when she opens her legs. Your nan is a slag and your dad touches other dads. I had recess duty a few years ago. A kindergarten girl came running over with another girl right after her and said she called me the B word. When I asked the second student if she called the first student the B word, she turned to the first one and said Methodica doesn't start with a B. I managed to turn my laugh into a cough. But yeah, no more recess for her that day. Edited to add. Holy crap. My inbox has exploded overnight. I also received my first platinum, gold and silver ever. So thank you. I don't think the first girl even realized Methodica was a swear, so she was focused on the word witch. During our outside time, one student told multiple others at me's, T is humping on somebody's mama. I have a hard time making the time for that with my own husband, much less somebody else's mom. It killed me to keep a straight face. I had them call their parent and repeat it because there was no way I could without giggling. My mom was an elementary teacher and always had a few good ones share. One that stands out in my head is a story about a bus ride on a field trip. Her 2nd grade students started playing some music. At one point, they started singing along, and my mom got really excited because they were spelling. Their spelling. That's so great. It took her a moment to realize what they were spelling. An entire bus filled with 7 and 8-year-olds was rolling down the road with about 40 little voices singing. Cause I'm a Methodican P.I.M.P. Edit. Whoop. My first silver. Thank you. I'll have to tell my mom that a spelling story was a hit. We were doing reward points at the end of the day. It was a behavioral school. One of our first graders sitting in the front row kept rolling a sheet of printer paper into a tube despite being reminded to put it away. When he was called to be ready to get his backpack in the hallway, he blew into the paper tube. Horn beep as loud as possible. I'd never seen him so happy to get a timeout. I teach non-native English speakers at the college level, so they don't get in trouble for misspeaking. But there are often hilarious utterances. 2 of my favorites. Student asking for a sheet of paper. Can I have a piece of sheet? Walking in well after class had started. Sorry, teacher. I got late. What? Sorry for getting late to class. Oh. I thought you said. Not a teacher. My 10-year-old son was hit in the face by a girl, and instead of physical retaliation, like boys don't hit girls, he asked her if she scraped her knees when she crawled out of hell. Hard to keep a straight face in that parent-teacher meeting. My friend told me this story. We are both teachers in South Korea. She was teaching 6th 5th grade kids a song, Marry You, for an English performance a school was putting on. Her Korean teacher thought it would be super cute if the boys held bouquets, got down on one knee, and proposed to the girls at the end of the performance. One boy exclaimed, "What the duck?" My friend died laughing. Kid was doodling on the whiteboard at the front of the class, and I told him to cut it out, because he was going to waste the marker. It was the end of the year and I didn't want to have to buy more. He grins and then says, "But it's just the tip." And then another student yelled out, "That's what she said." I tried so hard to keep a straight face, and failed so badly. I teach Hebrew to kids, and they were practicing writing their names. One of the kids was named David, which looks like this in Hebrew. One of David's classmates looked over his shoulder and yelled, "Hey David, your name is Tit." Because it's read right to left, and because I've seen those letters and that name a million times. I never would have seen that. But as soon as he said it, I realized he's 100% right. It looks like it says Tit. Cracked me up. Not appropriate for class though. An 8th grade student once told me, "You look like the kind of girl who'd be friends with the lunch ladies." To come to mind. 2 girls were working on an assignment, and were having disagreement about an answer. One ended up just looking the other dead in the eye and slowly pushed all her stuff on the floor exactly like a cat would, when they are being the idiots they are. The other girl doesn't break eye contact, and says, "You're a stinky witch. You know that." The other one was a girl walking to the front of the class, and so was this other, larger student. Well, he wasn't going as fast as she would have appreciated, so she decided to yell out, "Move it, fat ass," which had to be dealt with. But it was just oddly funny to hear that insult coming from that group of kids.